checked in kind of late here at Philadelphia, but I wanted just to kind of give you guys an idea of what a corner room looks like in the city. Got this cute little corner bathroom. There's actually real windows in here. It's kind of hard to get a full thing of the whole room, but hot wired this room, paid $97. I've had some bad experiences on hot wire in the past, probably more bad experiences than good ones, but I thought I'd take a chance because this hotel is like almost $225 a night. So I got it for $97. The only bad thing about Philadelphia is the parking. Hotels don't have parking, so you actually have to park in a parking garage, and nothing's cheap in the city. So, but that's it. I am excited to do Philadelphia tonight, tomorrow morning, depends how you look at it. It's 1 a.m. in the morning, so it's actually today. So I'm gonna get some shut-eye, and I will rejoin you guys in the morning. Hello everyone. So I'm currently walking, and today our visit is going to be in none other than historic Philadelphia. So I've got about 8 hours here in Philly, and I've packed as much history, food, and mystery as I could in today's adventure. You're going to see everything from Rocky to Liberty Bell to the actual filming locations of National Treasure. Let's kick things off today by heading straight into America's most historic square mile. Glad to have you guys along today. Had some coffee already, but I don't have the coffee to show you on camera, but I do have a stain right there on my shirt to prove that I had that coffee today. We'll see if that was a good thing or a bad thing. Because sometimes when I only drink decaf, but sometimes when you drink that decaf, there's more caffeine than decaf in it for some reason. Okay, so this is the Independence Hall. It is pretty much the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence. Okay guys, so this is the birthplace of America and the backdrop for one of my favorite movies. One of my absolute favorites, National Treasure. It's here where Ben Gates, played by Nicolas Cage, believed that the Declaration of Independence held a hidden map on the back. It's really cool to think that, George Washington and the founding fathers were actually walking through those halls discussing how America and our nation as it stands today would be governed. It's really cool, symbolic. So proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. quotes from Leviticus. So this crack is more than just iconic. It's cinematic. Why? Because it's what leads to clues for the Gates family in National Treasure.
It was in 1846, on George Washington's birthday, that the final expansion of the crack occurred.
Yeah, imagine yourself seeing that and thinking, hey, there's a clue to this that leads to something bigger. The actual name Liberty Bell was actually called the State House Bell and renamed by abolitionists in the 1830s. It weighs about 2,080 pounds. And the iconic crack likely widened in the early 1800s after an attempt to repair it failed. It was first casted in 1752 by the Whitechapel Bell Foundry in London, but it cracked on arrival. It was recasted twice in Philadelphia by Pass and Stowe. Their names are inscribed on the bell. And as you will know, the Pass and Stowe was one of the clues in National Treasure. For the U.S. in the late 1800s to inspire unity after the Civil War. It's now housed here in the Liberty Bell Center in Independence National Historic Park, right across from Independence Hall, for those of you that are interested in visiting. I don't know what all these golf carts are for. Maybe to go golfing in Philadelphia? Nah. There's Rocky. Lots of construction here in Philadelphia. Fox Television, right here in Philadelphia. This is Fox 29. So this is Franklin Court. While the movie used a fictional archive, this is where the real Franklin lived and worked. And the Silence Do-Good letters used in the movie are actually real. Franklin wrote them as a teenager. Ben Franklin went to and from his house through this original passage. Some cobblestones here. While in his teens, Franklin arrived in Philadelphia from Boston and walked up Market Street past a block of shops owned by tailors, saddle makers, joiners, wig makers, innkeepers, and printers. Eventually, he built his home in this very neighborhood and was associated with this same scene to the end of his days. So there's actually a printing office that you can view here.
Yeah, so just for something you don't care about between the iron and the document, or the t-shirt or something, put it on its lowest setting and oh, it's good to go. On this press, we're going to be printing up a copy of the Declaration of Independence as it was printed on the 4th of July, 1776. Now this press here, this is a replica press, it's not actually from the 1700s, but it's based on a press that's currently in the Smithsonian down in Washington, D.C. That press was probably used by Franklin when he was first living and working as a printer in London as a young man. He becomes famous. That printing office is like, look, this is the press he used. We're not 100% sure that it was, but there's evidence to indicate that it was. And so like I said, this is a replica of that press. The building we're standing in, however, this is not a replica, this is an original building, but to be clear, this was never Benjamin Franklin's printing office. So yeah, a lot of people walk in here thinking like, oh, this is where he printed. No, it's not. There is no building that Franklin ever worked in North America that still exists. Now this is one of the oldest buildings in the park, older than Independence Hall, for example. But had you been inside this building in like the 1770s, you'd be in a saddle maker's shop. So horse saddles, things like that. Yeah. Been set for us, because this would probably take me like days to set all this, right? So, that being said, we still have 2 more things we need before we can print. What do you think they are?
Ink.
Ink? Yep. Ink's one of them.
Paper.
Talk about ink first. So I've got some ink on the point of this knife. I could hold this up all day. It's not going to come off, right? It's very thick stuff. Now, recipes for the ink are going to vary a little bit depending on who's making it in the 1700s. But most are going to use this as the main ingredient. What do you think this is?
Soot.
Soot, yeah, exactly. It's a type of soot that today we usually refer to as carbon black. At the time, they would have called it lamp black because he collected it. And then this is why they call it beaters. It's called a frisket. Keeps the ink off the paper where we don't want it. Allows it to go through where we do want it. Because you notice when I beat the ink on there, it's not like I did individual letters. I just put it everywhere. And then we're going to lower this, we're going to advance this along, and we're going to do this in 2 pulls. This is called a flatten. It's not big enough to print the entire thing in one go, so I'm going to go half and half. I'm going to pull this. It's going to force this down just a little bit, so pay close attention, okay? Come on in, folks. We're just in the middle of a demonstration. All right, so I'm going to do the second half. It's time to inspect our work, see how we did. Not too bad, right? So, there you go. Another one fresh off the press.
So I got a cotton printed version of the Declaration of Independence. And that was a really cool experience. Not something I expected, actually. So this is actually America's oldest residential street. This is the Betsy Ross house that I'm standing in front of. I can just imagine inside this house the stars and stripes being sewed. Betsy Ross was actually responsible for sewing the America's first flag with 13 stars in a circle representing unity among the original colony. She was an upholsterer, made flags, tents, uniforms, and other items from the Continental Army. According to legend, she was approached by George Washington in 1776 and a secret committee to sew the first flag. Cute little kitty water fountain, but really it represents the 13 original colonies. So we got New Hampshire, South Carolina, Maryland, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Georgia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Rhode Island, North Carolina, New York, Virginia. So I'm trying to get a little magnet with every location I go to. So in here I decided to go with the Philadelphia Bell Crack magnet. Cool little gift. Benjamin Franklin. His head. This is the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. Here's the Federal Detention Center in Philadelphia. Located right here in the historic district, because the flag up here tells us that it's the historic district. That flag right there tells us this is a historic district. Just thought I'd use my map here as a, not my map, but my decoration as a pointer today, since I have to hold it all day in my hand like this and walk around sweating, walking around. I put all in all 5 to 7 miles today in a walk here around Philadelphia and the area. Lots of little flags out here, getting ready for the 4th of July. That's really cool how they have that set up, walking down that street. So this is the Terminal Market. It's very famous here in Philly. Just kind of do a little walk through here.
I know exactly where.
Cheese boats, Cajun Cafe.
Hey, come behind you.
Đồ hộp bò bữa. because I didn't know if that's the one you wanted.
I have a produce market here too. I have never seen deli meat sliced so nice. It's actually decorative. It looks appetizing. It makes me want to eat it. Got beautiful flowers here. And the market as well. That tomahawk steak looks like something out of Jurassic World. Okay, so that place was loud, crowded, but very, very interesting. I ate at Tommy D. Nick's. Some beautiful art on that wall. Walking by and I seen this very cool art decorative installation here. So this is Philadelphia's Magic Gardens. And it's really like stepping into a piece of artwork or someone's imagination. It's very unique. So you can see there's like a lot of cement here with bottles in it. There's a porcelain toilet here. Little lawn garden here. Little gnome. Bicycle wheel. It's really cool. And it bleeds up onto the side of the building. You can see some artwork up on the chimney. So interesting little fact here as I was walking by. Here we're outside of Penn Medicine, Pennsylvania Hospital. A little plaque that says the first building to occupy this site was especially erected to accommodate Benjamin West's painting, Christ Healing the Sick in the Temple in 1817. It was removed to make way for a new memorial wards opened in 1894, including the Wistar Morris Memorial Pavilion. The outpatient building was opened here in 1927, refurbished in 1967. This is the Korean War Memorial Park. This is the Irish Memorial. As a remembrance, the hunger ended, but it never went away. It was there in silent memories from one generation to the next. It was erected to honor the Great Hunger. This is to St. Andrew's Society of Philadelphia, monument to Scottish immigrants, past, present, and future. So we're walking up on the waterfront, and over to the right here, I see some ships, some masts for ships. So I'm not 100% sure what we're going to see when we get over there, but we're going to walk over there and see what we can find out. Welcome to Spruce Harbor. So this is the Olympia. This is the submarine, the USS Buka. So leave a comment down below. Would you want to work aboard a submarine that goes under the ocean? And then none of them's obviously watertight, so they leak. So comment down below if that's something that you would do if you had the opportunity. Just to be clear here, there are two ships. The first one is the submarine, and the second one looks like potentially a battleship. I'm not very well versed in marine warfare, so not 100% sure what those are, but if you guys know, leave a comment down below. And if any of you know somebody, or if you yourself served on one of these vessels, leave a comment down below. Okay, so this is the Mashula, and it is a four-masted steel bark. It was launched in 1904 as the Curt for William Hamilton and Company in Port Glasgow, Scotland. And it was originally built for the Night Rate trade. She held the title of the world's largest barge, boasting an impressive sail area of 45,000 square feet across 34 sails. Look at those big mast. It's now a dining place where you can go dine. So that was a nice little break at the waterfront. There's some museums there if you're into that stuff. Otherwise, there's some places to stand, sit. They got some hammocks there, some fountains. They got a little gift shop where you can buy like waters, drinks, stuff like that, energy bars. A couple vending machines and a public bathroom. So that was a nice little break. And now, onward. It's Rotten Ralph's. So guys, I couldn't come to Philadelphia without seeing the iconic Rocky Steps. I walked an extra 2.4 miles to get here. And so now it's time to climb these epic steps. I'm not gonna run them, but I'm gonna climb them. This is probably a lot of people's dream, is to actually run these steps to the top. Looks like up here at the top they have another Rocky statue. So there it is. Just came up all the steps. Nice picture of Philadelphia in the background. The Rocky statue is there. So guys, I am going to present a challenge to myself, and that is by my 50th birthday, so in 2 years, I will be fit and I'll be able to run up those steps and not be winded. That's my goal. So in 2 years. Hey guys, we cannot not come to Philly and do the 2 infamous cheesesteaks that we have here. This is Pat's here, and then right across the street we have Geno's. So guys, what I've done is I've come up with some questions that are going to basically help me decide which is the better cheesesteak. So the first thing we're going to judge it on is the cheesiness and the flavor blend, meat quality and texture, is the bread freshness and does it hold, overall balance and bite experience, vibe and service, and then I'm going to just kind of try them and tell you what my opinion is and what we're going to base it off based off of those. That criteria is what I'm going to use. So I think we'll go over to Pat's first and get Pat's cheesesteak there. Okay, now I'm going to go over to Geno's and get that cheesesteak. So I got both steaks. I'm going to pull out my judging questions here. Wipe my hands up first. So I want you guys to tell me down in the comments which one you think is going to be the better cheesesteak. Is it going to be Geno's or is it going to be Pat's? All right. So I told them, just so we know right off the bat, I told them it's like, just give it to me however you recommend it. So that's what they did. I didn't tell them anything that I wanted on it or anything to that nature. I just said, just make it for me, however everybody gets it. So that's how they did that. I also got a Diet Coke and a bottle of water. Got some dude's face in the front, don't know who that is. All right, so I'm gonna, the Geno steak feels heavier. So that's the Geno steak. The bread is very soggy. The steak looks like it's cut pretty thick. Onions are semi-caramelized. For the first challenge, I'm going to be biting into this, and we are going to see if I get my napkins out here. That the first thing we're looking at is cheesiness and flavor blend. So I don't even know how to do this. So cheesiness and flavor blend. So here we go. This is the Pat's cheesesteak. The bread isn't quite as soggy. The steak looks about the same. Both have cheese whiz, the onions. So I'm going to try now. Remember, we're still on cheesiness and flavor blend. I'm just going to move this over here. And the Pat's is in the front, and the Geno's is in the back. So in the cheese blend category, we have, is the cheese melted and evenly distributed? Does it complement the meat or overpower it? And whiz, provolone, or American, how well does it hit? Whiz is on both of them. That's how they both came. Recommended. I didn't ask for anything specific. The Geno's definitely is more evenly distributed, for sure. So much bread. Alright, so I'm gonna try the Geno's one more time. The Geno's meat has a very distinct flavor to it. I don't know what that flavor is. It's very distinct. But I can taste it very well. And the cheese does complement it. But on the Pat's, the meat doesn't have much flavor. Yeah. So I would have to say with the cheesiness and flavor blend, I'm going to give it to Geno's on this one. Okay, Meat quality and texture. Is the steak tender or chewy? Is it well seasoned? And are the pieces thick or thin, chopped, or sliced? So I would say Geno's, they're about the same. So this is a Geno's, and that's a Pat's, which is kind of hard to see. They both look like they're sliced, but Pat's looks like it's been chopped, and Geno's looks like it's been sliced and just left sliced. Geno's is definitely more seasoned, and I would say that Pat meat is actually Pat's meat is actually more tender, okay? But since Geno took it with well seasoned and the steak being thicker and actually more full, there's actually more on this sandwich, I'm gonna have to give this one to Geno as well for meat and quality texture. Okay, so the next category we're looking at is bread freshness and hold. Excuse me. Is the roll fresh, soft inside with a crusty bite? Does it hold the filling without getting soggy? Or is it classic? Is it like a classic roll? Okay. So Geno's definitely is holding it. It's definitely holding it. Geno's is holding it as well. Oh, I'm sorry, Pat's is holding it. This is Pat's is holding it well. But I would have to say that Pat's is more crispy. It has a better bite to the bread. And Geno's is a good roll. It's more soggy. I prefer a bun that has a bite to the outside, soft on the inside, and contains the ingredients very well. So I'd have to say on the bread freshness and the roll overall, that's going to go to Pat's. Okay, so then the next one we're looking at is the overall balance and bite experience. Do the components work together? Is each bite consistent or uneven? Is it juicy without being a mess? So do the components work well together? I would say definitely. However, Geno's just has a lot more. It has more meat, more filling. Each bite I'm getting cheese, bread, meat, onion, but it's messy. And this is Pat's. That's Pat's. And that's Geno's. So on this one, guys, I'm gonna have to, even though Geno's is a little bit more sloppy, a little bit more messy, their components work extremely well together. And every bite I get a consistent everything. I get consistent meat, onions, cheese, and bread. So this section I'm going to have to give to Geno's. Okay, and then so vibes and service. How fast and friendly was the service? Is the experience iconic or overrated? and how was the crowd atmosphere and energy. Okay. So I went to Pat's first and was greeted by an older gentleman that just was not happy. I don't know if that's a Philadelphia thing, whatever, but the question is was they friendly? I would say no. Was he fast? Yes. Then my second time I went over to Geno's second, and the lady was more friendly than the guy was at Pat's, but they weren't faster. It was fast, don't get me wrong. I mean, I got within a couple minutes, but Pat's I got within 30 seconds. Money, pay, out the door. Is the experience iconic or overrated? From what I've gathered, this experience, probably overrated. There wasn't a whole lot of people here. There was people lined up getting food, but I would say McDonald's is much busier than this place. And the atmosphere, the crowd energy, I mean, it's Philly. People are just trying to do their thing, eat quick and move on. But there's one category that wasn't on there that I really want to point out is pricing. So both of these sandwiches cost about the same amount. But the Geno steak is by far bigger. It's got more meat on it, more onions, more cheese, bigger bread, but it's soggy. So if you don't like soggy bread, that may not be your thing. And then the Pat steak is much smaller, less evenly distributed. And but I like their bread better. So if you can combine the two worlds, I think you could have a perfect steak. So, in my opinion, I would have to say for this challenge, Geno's wins. Just based on that judgment, that criteria, they would win. Now, there's something about the Pat steak meat I like better, maybe because it's chopped. And the Geno's steak is very well seasoned. It's got unique seasoning. I don't know if it's the flavor of that steak is something I would want on a regular basis, though. These very unique flavoring blends. I don't know what they use, but it's nothing I ever tasted before. As far as the Pats, I prefer the flavor of Pats. Maybe because their meat resembles that of like Charlie's steak sandwiches, steakums, or the meat you get in your like Walmart freezer section you can cook. Maybe that's why I'm accustomed to those blends. And also on a personal note,
Private equity. That's it.
I prefer the onions more cooked and caramelized. These are just barely sweated. And I don't care for soggy bread. You know, it's been what? 20 minutes I've been eating on this. And this bread hasn't gotten any soggier, but it was soggy to begin with. Now, it's kind of gross. It's wet, cold, drippy. Based on our criteria that we set forth there, they win. But I could not eat Geno steak every day. I could eat Pat steak every day. I think I like mine thinner chopped, and I like their bread better. It just works better. So I encourage you to, on your visit to Philly, come down here, try both places, and use this as a guide to judge which is the better steak in your opinion. Maybe it was just today. Maybe today they were not on top of their A game, but from someone that comes from the restaurant world, you know, you should have the exact same experience every time. Every day I come to this place, it should be the exact same steak, same flavor. Everything should be exactly the same. And all right, guys, so leave some comments down below. Like and subscribe so we can keep doing what we love to do here. Thank you for joining with us and going through this day with me in Philadelphia. You know, this is a memory I definitely will keep locked away for the rest of my life on this experience while I was here doing this 8-hour adventure. And I did do it in 8 hours. I'm probably actually exactly 8 hours right now. So I started out this morning and 10 o'clock. It's now 6 o'clock. So I was able to do all those adventures in an 8-hour day, and I walked it all with the exception of I had to Uber from the Rocky statue to Geno's because it was going to be almost 3-mile walk back. And I had already walked about 6 or 7 miles today, so I didn't want to push for 10 miles because I do have to drive tomorrow and going on another adventure, so I can't exhaust myself completely. But leave us a comment down below. Some of your favorite things that you like to do in Philly. When's the last time you was here? And if you have any questions, leave questions down below. But guys, here's to many more memories and a lot more miles. See you guys in the next vlog.